What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the No World Order Podcast IG Live Edition. I'm your host, Drew, and right now we are waiting on Zach to pop up on IG Live so we can have a discussion. Make sure to tune in and hit up those links. Find out our Instagram so you can check out when we go live. We always have a good discussion, and you can be a part of it. You can ask some questions. You can you can join along. Zach just popped up, so we're waiting on that. And it looks like he is there, but not there, and now he is there.
Lights on, no one's home.
Yo.
There we go. What up?
Not much. How's it going?
Pissed? I'm pissed at all this shit going on.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yeah, same. It's trying to keep a positive mind frame about it all, and it just seems to get a little bit crazier and crazier, and more confusion seems like every day, you know?
Yeah. We've been trying to go on walks in the morning, and that's actually helping offset everything else.
Yeah.
You know, you get out, there's some sun, and it's a good reminder, like, regardless of whatever bullshit's going on in the media and on TV, like, you can walk outside and, like, the wind's blowing, trees are growing, everything's, you know, normal.
Yeah, exactly. So, I need to get...
Cool.
What was that?
So that's cool.
Yeah, I need to get back out to running again and all of that. I seem to go through these waves of ups and downs where I get super motivated and I do it for like a week or two straight, and then I like taper off for like a month, and then I hit it hard for like a couple weeks, and then yeah. I just need to be consistent with it, because getting that sunshine, especially in these days, and getting that sweat is super beneficial. So
yeah, it's been nice. It's the only time I get to listen to podcasts now, too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's driving me to be consistent about it. Like, I don't have a commute anymore to listen to podcasts. Or,
Yeah.
you know, nothing. It's just me and the wife doing stuff all the time. So that's the only chance I really get to listen to pods. So that's cool. Kittens are doing well. They're growing. The garden's growing. So we're staying busy.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, not much going on here. I mean, just over the last couple days, and then on Saturday I have a side job with my brother, just doing some window cleaning just to make a little extra money and everything. But
nice.
Yeah, so that's basically it, and just trying to be consistent with the YouTube channel and all of that, all the uploads and everything. But
yeah, we're the Real Word podcast is still going, right? You're like at what, 30, 34, 35?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, 36, I think.
33.
Yeah, I had to be quick about it. No, I'm trying to do those every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then in between there do this and stuff with my brother and all of that. So it's turning out to be like a 5 to 6 day a week thing, which is pretty cool. It's what I wanted, you know. But yeah. So what were the topics? Or I know you said you had a story you wanted to say, and what were the things that you wanted to kind of talk about?
Current coronavirus stuff. I don't even know. Did we touch on the killer bees last time we talked? Or the murder hornets or whatever those are?
I think briefly, but maybe not.
I don't know anything else additional. I just think it's funny that they're throwing that. I feel like they're throwing that out there now as another scare tactic.
And
we talked about the fake shark attack too.
Yeah, and we did talk about that. I do remember that. But did you hear, or because I didn't read the story, but I heard that from somebody who supposedly read the story about these murder hornets, that they were found in Washington, and that there was only 2 of them, and one of them's dead and one of them's missing.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that sounds like a bad sci-fi movie.
yeah, and then they made this big deal about it, and yeah, they don't necessarily attack humans either. So it's like they made this big deal about it, and yeah, when I guess I didn't look into it, but from other people, other sources said that that was the case. There was only 2 of them, and they don't even really attack humans, and one of them died. So
there we go. 50% are dead now.
yeah,
I know. I didn't look into it either. I was like, this is bullshit. I ain't gonna even waste my time.
Exactly.
I was like, whatever, man.
Exactly.
I know it was like almost indirectly referenced on The Simpsons, but I guess what isn't?
Yeah.
And then other than that, my dad sent me a video of a praying mantis ripping one to shit.
Really? Yeah. I think I saw that too.
Head and brain.
Face first, right?
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
I saw that too. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to watch this. Like, this is kind of intense.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab some praying mantis and just throw them in the backyard and kind of patrol, kind of watch the perimeter.
Yeah.
And then I know Eddie Bravo had one when he was on Tinfoil Hat again, and he had a video. I guess like they kill mice, like they can take down a mouse, like the mouse couldn't get away.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that because that's too much for me, but
yeah.
That's the extent of what I've heard about it. And to your point, neither one of those have to do with humans. So,
exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna invite all the praying mantis over, and I'll be good. I'm not worried about the hornets.
Yeah. So yeah, that story came and went pretty quick, and it seems like probably people figured it out, and then it passed. But they did seem to try and make that a big deal for a minute.
Yeah, they did. It feels like they're just throwing whatever at the wall to see what'll stick.
Yeah.
What'll scare us. I know Riverside. So in other current events, I know Riverside County is not doing masks anymore. They're like, nah, we're good. And they voted to start opening up businesses again. So Riverside out there pumping it, man, hitting it. I'm so happy about that. And then LA just got extended until August 1st for their lockdown. So like that divide keeps growing and growing. Riverside's out there almost like they're trying to get back to normal, and LA is like not
hold up.
Shit.
Yeah, it's really strange. And to take it even more local, man, I don't know if you listened to my podcast over the last day or so or whatever, but I touched on, so remember how I talked about that jiu-jitsu gym down in San Diego, getting that one guy coming out from a class and just filming and then having a ticket on his car?
Where was that?
That was down in San Diego. Like,
okay, yeah.
So his brother has a gym here in Oceanside, and that's the one that I would go to. And they've been doing like the online Zoom classes, but they wanted to get people back into the gym and in very small limited groups, and they were doing it very responsibly. They already are a very responsible, clean gym. I can attest that myself from going there. They make you sanitize, step in the sanitization bucket before you even step on the mats, and yeah, you're rolling with people, sweating and all that, close proximity, but I mean, these are consenting adults. Like, I understand if you don't want the kids going in and all of that, but these are consenting adults. And they went in and had classes, and I guess cops shut it down. And then just yesterday, that whole plaza there, that Wendy's, that right across the street from Oceanside High School and all of that.
Yeah.
So that whole plaza right there, like, did a little protest and everything. And all the businesses just want to reopen, but there's still these strict guidelines and still trying to shut us down and everything.
That's ridiculous. I've heard, I don't have anything to substantiate, but I've heard that Oceanside is kind of not going broke, but they're losing a lot of money throughout all of this. Which to me, it's like, okay, well then start opening shit back up. Let's get pumping.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they see it as just a way to, an opportunity to get more tickets out. That's how they're going to recoup that income.
Yeah.
Write more tickets.
But
there was,
let me just mention this just real quick. I mean, it probably has no connection or correlation, but I did just find it interesting because both of these guys, they're brothers, right? And they're both very well connected with Eddie Bravo, and Eddie Bravo is very outspoken about everything. So I'm not saying there's a connection or a correlation, but I just do find it interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Just these two brothers that have been targeted as far as the 10th Planet gyms here in San Diego. And there's other gyms, there's other 10th Planet gyms here in San Diego, but those two are owned by brothers who are very well connected with Eddie Bravo. So
that's interesting. That I think could flow into the plant power conversation that you and I were having. But real quick, the Oceanside thing, there was I think it was a council member who had written a letter, and I guess the big deal is that it was on Oceanside City, letterhead. And he was saying, hey, if you think you want to, and if you think you can, open up your business, do it within the guidelines. But and it wasn't like a command. It was I think this should be what's up. And he got out there, and I posted it, and I tagged all of Oceanside in it, all the different little groups and shit. And a day or two later, he was reprimanded heavily and just squashed. Yeah, so you can't even talk about your opinion about opening back up if you're a city council member or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's more dangerous, obviously, than any fake fucking coronavirus thing going on. But about the two brothers with the gyms that connected with Eddie Bravo, this seems like they're getting shut down. I kind of want to go into, I kind of just want to attack the conversation we were having about plant power and about Donna Jean and how they're...
So let me just refresh your memory, man, because when all of this pandemic stuff happened, Plant Power was one of the first ones to go cashless. And they stopped accepting cash right away. And then they partnered up with that one organization that Billie Eilish, or whatever her name is. And, you've pointed things out to me about her that are very not good. And a lot of people call her satanic and all this stuff. And I'm not saying just you have said that or anything like that. I've heard it from other podcasts and comedians and stuff like that as well. And so there was that cashless thing, them partnering up with that, and then them coming out and enforcing the face mask, even if you go through a drive-through.
Yeah.
And then I do know the owner is connected. The owner of Plant Power owns Evolution.
Yeah.
And then also co-owner of Donna Jean as well. So they're all connected in that way. And then Donna Jean immediately followed suit and posted a thing on Instagram as well, saying that they're going to enforce the masks, and then you take over from there.
Yeah, so I noticed the cashless thing kind of pissed me off. And I've been going through Plant Power drive-thru. I think we've gone 2 or 3 times.
Same.
And I never caught any flack from it, but it was after the last time we went, when I saw they had posted to wear a mask in the drive-thru, or you're not going to be served.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if we've talked about it here, but not everybody can wear a mask. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not a freedom thing, although for me it is a freedom thing. But 2-year-olds and younger, they can't wear it because they're going to get oxygen deprived, right? I know even stuff people don't even think about, people with Down syndrome, they have a different facial structure. So
yeah.
Aren't going to work. They're not going to fit. Whatever. People with autism or any sort of a sensory kind of a disability or disorder, they're not going to wear it because they can't. They just, you know what I mean? I know a kid. Oh, he's not a kid. He's 12 or 13 now with autism. He can't even get his hair cut, man. He doesn't like the hair falling on him. It freaks him out, So these masks are just not for some people.
And hold on, to piggyback off of that, I mean, I know people in our community don't trust this Dr. Fauci guy, but I found it really interesting that there was this, I believe it was a 60-minute interview or clip or whatever from some interview that he did. I don't know when it was filmed or anything like that, but this guy is straight up saying these masks that we're wearing for the public, the general public, don't do anything. It's all a security, false security. It make you feel better just for having it, but he said it may stop a little droplet or something, but it's not doing anything to prevent the virus from spreading. And that's the guy who honestly me and you don't trust, but the mainstream is being presented and pushed, and everybody's like bowing down to this guy, and he's straight up saying these don't do anything, but yet everybody's still following suit. Oh, we must wear a mask. We must wear a mask. Why aren't you wearing a mask? And then it becomes this mask shaming thing, you know?
Yeah, I saw an article that referred to people that don't wear a mask as anti-maskers. And I'm like, good lord.
The anti-vaxxers?
Sort of a defaming, negative-sounding term to make us sound like crazy people, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Ridiculous. Yeah, so... And doctors have said, these masks don't do anything.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be worn all day. They're not healthy. They deprive you of oxygen.
And you need to switch them out all the time.
Yeah, it says on the box for those little normal kind of looking mask ones, doctor looking ones, it says on there, does not prevent infection, does not prevent disease.
Oh my gosh.
The doctors wear the mask when they're doing surgery and shit to keep anything they have inside, to keep a clean fucking operating area.
Yeah.
Not so they can keep out your cold, what? And then I was seeing my mask is only X amount effective unless you're wearing a mask, then it's more effective, and that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it's so misleading because what type of mask? Different types of masks. If I'm wearing a fucking gas mask like the military to train for stuff, that's different than a homemade fucking handkerchief mask.
Exactly.
But, it's all misleading bullshit. People are just using it to confirm their own biases, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I don't wear them. I haven't been wearing them, and I'll go into that in a minute. But the plant power thing, they were chill. They were wearing masks. They don't want cash. I'm like, that's stupid, but whatever. I have a card anyway, so we'll get the milkshake. And then I noticed that they did the whole, you have to wear a mask or you can't even come to the drive-thru. And I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
It pissed me off. That's the fast food vegan place. I go there. I know you go there. I know a lot of people that go there. It's convenient. It was still open. It's chill. It's cool. We're used to it. And here they are saying your money's not good enough unless you wear a mask. And even adhering to the rules that are set from, I guess in this case, most closely it'd be San Diego County. They unless you're gonna, they say wear a mask unless X, Y, and Z. One of those is you're gonna be more than 6 feet away. So if I'm extending my arm to get my drive-thru, and the person's extending their arm to give you the drive-thru, that's probably 6 feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're wearing masks, and they're inside, and I'm not, I'm in my car. It's almost a conspiracy theory to think that I'm going to give this person something. Yeah. It's a conspiracy theory to think a healthy person without a mask is going to infect a healthy person with a mask. Didn't make any sense. It pissed me off, and so I cited the ADA. I cited the actual rules from San Diego.gov that say if you have a health condition that prevents you from wearing a mask, you do not need to wear a mask. That is real. That is law. And a store can't override that just because they're ignorant or because they feel like they need to or want to.
So my only thing with that is stores do have the right to refuse service.
If I'm being an asshole and I'm throwing stuff off of the shelves and going full fucking crazy, sure, they can say no. But if I have a disability and I can't wear a mask, they cannot refuse service.
Yeah.
If I have a health condition, mental or physical, that prevents me from reducing oxygen to
That's very true. Yeah. That's discriminatory for sure. Yeah.
It's discriminatory.
Yeah.
We have rules against being discriminatory.
Yeah.
You know
definitely.
what I mean? Race, color, creed, disability, ability.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way because I only thought about it in the way that, I understand it's not cool, but they do have that sign posted in most businesses. We have the right to refuse service to anyone. But I guess that, I don't know if that would apply to a disability, but because I do know we can't discriminate, but I don't know how the whole legalese of that, but that's interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the ADA, which is the Adult with Disabilities Act.
Yeah.
Americans with Disabilities Act, excuse me.
Yeah.
Because of my line of work. And Valerie, my wife, actually looked it up when we were talking about all this, and she went through each of the rules and how it's written and how it's in law. And if you're diagnosed with something or you have if you have a disability, the American with Disabilities Act will protect you. So my friend of the family who's 12 that can't wear a mask because it's sensory because he has autism doesn't need to wear a mask to go into the store. And if they refuse service, they can get fined.
Yeah.
I think the first one's like 75 grand.
Yeah.
If I have a health condition that prevents me from wearing it, they're not allowed to ask me my health condition. They can't say, well, why can't you wear a mask? You know what I mean? And I'm not citing that I have a disability. I'm going off of San Diego.gov that says if you have a health condition that prevents you from doing it. My health condition, though I don't have to say it, but you know what I mean? If I needed to cite something, I could cite some stuff about how I feel. Even just lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
That's a health risk.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what a mask does. That's what it's meant to do, basically.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I haven't been wearing a mask, and I've caught a lot of shit, but I haven't worn a mask but maybe one time. And that was in the very beginning before I knew about, like, the actual freedom legal part of it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I was just talking about you, Jess, a little bit, indirectly. But yeah, I haven't worn masks. Sprouts has actually been really chill.
Yeah, I saw your post. You said Sprouts has been like the most accommodating. Yeah, I might have to start checking them out for sure.
They don't question me when I walk in. I think I've gone about 3 times since it's been mandated, and they don't question me when I walk in, even though there's like a dude there offering to like sanitize your cards or whatever.
Yeah.
And this most recent time, 2 times ago, I had a great conversation with the lady that was doing checkout about how the masks are ineffective, about how if you're not wearing gloves and changing them after you touch everything, it doesn't matter anyway. You know, like she was up on stuff and she didn't like it. You know what I mean? So we had a cool conversation. This last time when I was shopping, an employee was like, "Hey, like, do you have a mask?" And I'm like, "Nope." And I don't wear it because boom, boom, boom. And he's like, "Okay, cool." Like if you hit them with quick fact, like and you cite, like I'll cite like San Diego.gov and this, like I'll say it real quick, not too quick, but I'll say it like matter of factly. Most of the time they're like, "Okay, cool, got it," because they don't know. Like they're here, and then you drop a little bit, you go up to here, and they can't play with you there, so they back off.
Yeah.
And I explained to a guy last time I was there that was doing checkout, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "we don't really require." He's like, "We don't require it. We're asking people to do it, but we understand people have health conditions that prevent it." So that place, like that's my new place. Fraser Farms is out, dude. I'm out on Fraser Farms right now because they're being, and that's what my story is about. I have a big one. That's what I don't like about Fraser Farms. I'm driving farther away and spending a little bit more on going to Sprouts because they're being so chill. Also, there's like nobody in Sprouts. Fraser Farms is packed. Sprouts is chilling. They're fully stocked. There's nobody in there. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Home Depot didn't question me when I went in with no mask. I feel like I get side looks, but I also see people removing their masks, wearing them halfway, wearing them like.
That's a lot of people.
And every time you touch it, you're contaminated.
Yeah, you're supposed to change it out. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And nobody's wearing gloves. That fell by the wayside real early on.
Yeah.
So I don't wear them, and I straight up tell people why if they question me. 99-cent store, they try to like say some shit, but these poor guys, it's like 18-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like they don't know what they're doing. So I try to educate them real quick, and hopefully it's working. You know what I mean? Like I've been asked why don't you just wear a mask or just like wear it when you go in and when you come out so you can people think you're okay. And I'm like, nah. Number one, I don't have to.
Yeah.
Number two, there's people out there that physically cannot. And if I need to be the one to educate these people so the person behind me who physically can't wear one gets a little less shit, I'll do it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have. I mean, I try not to go out too often because I don't like dealing with confrontation. So I just don't like to even put myself in those positions. But yeah, I gotta really check out Sprouts because if they're like that accommodating and that's a place that we can support,
Exactly, dude. And that's what sucks. Going back to I'm going to finish up on the plant power thing. That's what sucks about that. Like this place that we thought was like, oh, cool, a vegan place we can go to. We can rally around. They have like good stuff. They're saying no mask, or if you don't have a mask in the drive-thru, we're not going to serve you.
Yeah.
So I hit them with the ADA stuff. I hit them with the San Diego.gov screenshots. I hit them with all that. And they were like, the response they gave us through Instagram was really nice. It was like, cool, we're learning, we'll look into it. Thanks for hitting us up.
Yeah.
And I prefaced it with like, hey, I love your shit. I've been eating there since you opened. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying burn in hell. I'm saying like let's get on the same page.
Yeah.
So they were cool. But then I saw Donna Jean, the owner. I think it was the owner. He posted a video of himself talking.
He's the head chef and the other part owner. Yeah, I believe so.
I think he's the dude that I saw do a like one eye symbolism post. So I'm already
definitely. That's what. Okay, that was the other thing. Yeah, you've been posting stuff about him and them, and yeah, that receipt thing where it was the one eye and then the pizza. Yeah, so.
Okay, maybe nothing, or it might. And when
dude, that seemed a little too staged, just like any of those other pictures.
Exactly. So I saw a video of him, and he was saying like he was like begrudgingly saying like if you can't wear a mask, we'll still serve you. Like I swear it's like through gritted teeth. And he said like if you're not gonna wear a mask, if you can't wear a mask, stay in your car. We'll bring it out to you. No, that's not it.
Yeah.
If you're letting people in with a mask and you discriminate somebody who's not wearing a mask, who can't wear a mask,
maybe we should go try it at Donna Jean and see what happens and film it maybe and see what happens, because maybe put them to that test for real, because if they discriminate, then that could be some real problems, and I don't know if they really want problems like that, you know?
Right. And it's not a big deal, like specifically for Donna Jean, it's a restaurant, it's not a drive-through. Don't say like you can come in with a mask, if not a mask, stay out there. Just have everyone stay in their car. Just run it out to their car. Like it's hard to park there anyway. Just make it a ubiquitous thing where you're running it out to the vehicle. That way your employee can wear a mask, you can be happy, and people who can't wear a mask will remain in their fucking vehicles. You know? It's really weird, man. It's super weird about that. Oh, hold on. Someone's saying something.
Yeah, so Disney, they're shutting down the entire year.
Are they? Because I read that they were accepting reservations from like mid-July, August.
From the last I heard yesterday that they're shutting it down the entire year. And
that's a lot of money lost.
So I was talking to my dad about that. I'm sure they own all of that land and they don't really have a mortgage on that land. So what is there to be paying except employees who don't have a job?
Yeah, they treat their employees like shit.
Yeah.
As far as like the totem pole and making money and yeah, Rihanna, you know how Disney treats their employees. But I'm sure they look at it as we could be having a fucking 100,000 people coming through the doors a day, paying X amount of ticket, buying a soda, buying lunch. They look at that as lost. I'm sure they have to. So yeah, they're not like going in debt, paying the mortgage, but they for sure are not making the money they want. And there's no theaters.
Obviously.
Like, the theater thing is gone. So like they're not making $1 billion each Marvel movie release because there's no one's going to theaters right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody right now, and for the most part, is taking a hit. But I think with them, if they do open up like that person said, with the mandatory temperature checks and masks and all that, we'll see. Because from what I heard, they're closing down the entire year. I don't like them doing that mandatory stuff. But if you go to Disneyland, they have that right, I guess, because they are a business. And again, you can hit them with the ADA stuff and all of that. But it's interesting because it seems like it could be more of a manipulation to hurt more people versus them taking a hit. Because like I said, I feel like they've done so well for so long that they, as a company, are probably pretty good for a while. But it's all the employees that are suffering. And again, that goes to the tanking of the economy and manipulation of that, you know? So who knows what it is? We'll see what happens. But from what I heard, they're closing down for the year. If they do that, open up in, at the end of May, then we'll see.
Yeah, I have to look into that to see what's going on. That's interesting. And that, like, Disney and their own rules is a whole nother show, man, because I know they do some stuff over there independent from other stuff.
Yeah, and like, they own vaccine patents, and they've been involved in all sorts of shady stuff from the very beginning, dealing with like Nazi stuff and
control and psychological tests on kids.
So they're not this family-friendly company that everybody thinks they are, but they do make great content sometimes.
It's so conflicting because I like a lot of their shit, and I grew up with it like everybody else.
Exactly.
But, like, okay, Disney was a Freemason. What's up with Club 33? Like, are there more underground tunnels? How come if you have a heart attack, they rush you off the property?
I mean, from everything I've heard, that Disneyland does have tunnels underneath, and that's how you're able to get across the park. So if they can do it on a small level like that, why would you not have it on a more mass scale?
I do know underneath the Disneyland Hotel, they do have underground tunnels. That's like they like the laundry comes down and they wash laundry underneath, and it's like a big circle that I believe hits all the hotels. So then like that they drop down, and that's where all their stuff was on. They have little carts driving around and shit.
Interesting.
I worked there, and I had a friend who knew everybody. He was bilingual, so he knew all the like. If you know Spanish speaking people, you can fucking find out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
We would jack this little, like, I worked at the credit union, we would jack their little cart, and we would just go drive around places and stuff. And so I've seen these underground tunnels that connect all the hotels and stuff, man. It's trippy. And, like, it's Disney, sure, and there's Mickey on the wall, but you're still underground. It's still creepy, you know? It's a little shining. It feels a little shining.
Yeah.
Fucking Disney. Yeah, we should do a whole show on Disney. I have so much to say. But as far as like Plant Power and Donna Jean, I'm bummed. I hope they correct their own course.
Yeah.
Because I do like eating their food.
But to me, it seems like they're being pushed by a bigger agenda. Honestly, when you look at all the things that we pointed out, man, like there's no way. Like what do we say? Like there can't be that many coincidences, you know?
That's the thing. Exactly. When the coincidences start mounting up and there's more of those and there are like things that make sense, it's time to relook at the whole thing.
Yeah.
I did find another place that's closer that has a good vegan burger I'll tell you about later. But
nice.
Yeah. Bums me out.
Yeah.
Should I go to the Fraser Farm story?
Yeah, hit it.
So I've had issues with Fraser Farms. I'll revisit this a little bit. I've seen their undercover security manhandle a teenager. I was accused of stealing, and they blocked my exit, and I had to read them some of my rights in order to put them back in their place. So shit like that, right? Like I've had a handful of negative experiences, but it's close and it has stuff that I like. So kind of a back and forth. My wife and I went in there 2 weeks ago, and I had the mask around my neck, and I kind of put it like here as I was walking in. I was like fumbling with it, you know, to make it look like I was putting it on, but I didn't really want to put it on.
Yeah.
But ahead of us, there was a Hispanic mother with her looked like adult son who had Down syndrome. And I had the conversation with my wife about, you know, ADA and not wearing a mask and all this stuff. So I was ready. I'm ready to go into places guns blazing. I'm almost too ready to do it. So she told me like, hey, like, let's chill. Let's play ball a little bit. We'll see what needs to happen. And I'm like, fine. I just want to fight, but okay. And so we go to walk in, and this mother and son with Down syndrome are ahead of us. And the guy at Fraser Farm's door stops them and asks him to put a mask on. So that was our opportunity. Valerie stepped in, and she sounds very professional when she says shit.
Yeah.
Whereas I probably sound like a raving lunatic. But she cited EDA, she cited the disability thing, and he was like, okay, cool. Like I didn't know. And as we're talking to the guy, the mom and the daughter, who I'm pretty sure didn't speak English, they walk in. Cool. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't denied entry. He's in. You know what I mean? Yeah. We walk in. We grab a few. We only had a few things we need to get. We grab a few things, and we're in line checking out. And I see, so like I'm here, cashier's there, and then the line over, like the bagging area, there's a lady standing there, and she's like doing this shit, like. And I call out to her. I don't think I have my mask on, because I was trying not to wear it. And I was like, hey, are you okay? And she's like, no. And I was like, are you gonna faint? And she's like, yeah. I was like, shit. And so I go over there, and I'm like standing next to her. She's a really tall, skinny girl. And I'm trying to talk to her. I'm trying to tell her everything's cool, whatever. She has a mask on, by the way, because, you know, Fraser Farms mandates masks for their employees and for everyone coming. She's wearing this mask, She's lightheaded. She communicates to me in very like intermittently because she was having trouble talking and figuring out where she was. That she has like a seizure disorder. So this poor girl, and she said she hadn't. Later on, she told me she hadn't eaten anything and she had had a bunch of coffee. So she's working all day on no food with like a disability, wearing this fucking mask, depriving her of oxygen. So I'm sitting there talking to her, trying to like calm her down. She fucking faints right in my arms, dude. Like
Jeez.
She would have hit the ground or the counter had I not seen and gone over there.
Damn.
So and my wife was like watching everything that's going on, paying for the food, whatever. She, whatever, she knows what's going on. I catch her and I like ease her to the floor. My wife comes over and we get her on her side. We make sure she has air. I'm used to this shit. I'm used to seizures. I'm used to passing out. Like I know how to deal with all this stuff from previous jobs. So like I'm looking at her eyelids, we're timing it, and she wasn't like she for sure passed out.
Yeah.
She felt limp in my arms, but she wasn't like out for very long. And then her eyes started to flutter, and then she was like, "Shit!" And she was like, "Poor girl was crying." Took her mask off, and as this is happening, an employee has fainted and is unconscious on the floor. The guy who was our cashier asks us to move the stuff that we had just bought, and like, yeah, dude. And I was like, I didn't even acknowledge him. I don't know if Valerie did, but I was pissed. Like I was like, I'm not even acknowledging that shit.
Yeah.
So we're talking to her, trying to get her back. Employees are starting to come around, but they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're all just standing there like watching from afar. And Valerie, I was finally like, call an ambulance. She has fainted. Like, let's get her emergency contact going. Like, come on, guys, let's do this. Because they're all staring around with their thumbs up their asses. So she's waking up, and we kind of I just let her sit there because she needs to just not move. Because I've seen people pass out, and as soon as they come to, they try and pop back up, and then you faint again, man, because you're not ready.
Yeah.
It's like you're being rebooted. So it takes a minute. So I tell her to chill. We were gonna call her emergency contact, and so she pulls out her phone, and she can't even maneuver her phone, man. Like she's still trying to come back online. So we did that for her. We called her, whoever she wanted to get called. The paramedics come. They do the little test on her, and she's okay. And now she's like waking up, and she had been crying, and so she saw the puddle of tears. I was like, oh, was that for me? And we're like, yeah, dude, that sucks. That we have a quick conversation with the paramedics about how these masks are not good. Like even the paramedics were like, yeah, these aren't meant to be worn all day. Like it sucks. It's not okay. It deprives people of oxygen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're there forcing people to wear it all day and barely have breaks and not rotating people out properly. Like if you're gonna do that, yeah, have people rotating every 30 minutes or an hour to get fresh air or something like that. But oh, that doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. Yeah. That's interesting that the paramedics kind of understood your point of view. That's good.
So they, were like, hey, like you can't work anymore. You need to go home. And this girl, I think she didn't have a ride home, and so we're like, dude, we'll take you. Like you can't work anymore. You need to get out of here. So Valerie went around to get the car. The paramedics left, and we're gonna take this girl home, right? Because she just passed out. Needs the ride home, and we get her into like the little scooter thing. Somebody else is grabbing her bag from the locker room or whatever. And as we're getting her into the scooter and about to leave the store, another employee comes up to me and asks me to put my mask on. So one of their own employees passed out. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody cared. Nobody knew what to do and how to react. They asked us to move our groceries when we were the ones responding. And then as like the situation is getting coming to an end because of the action that my wife and I took, because we know how to react to these things. Yeah. They tell me to put my mask back on. And the employee's like trying to put hers on. She's like, oh, no, you don't have to put yours on. Like, you need to breathe. And I'm like, and she's like, can you put your mask on? I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I need to breathe too. She's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, like if it's a health risk, I don't have to. And she's like, well, all right. And then I said, like, I was like, if it's a health risk, you don't have to. You can't ask people about like their disability or whatever. And she's like, well, we're not asking you about a disability. I'm like, no, but you're making me put a mask on. Like, so I barely got into it with her. I was done. Like, I was pissed, and I was like, I straight up told her, no, I'm not putting my mask on, dude. Yeah. Not gonna happen. Like, she just passed out because she has a mask on, and you're demanding I put one on? Yeah. Why? Because your boss told you to come over here and ask me instead of being the one responding to the situation? Ridiculous, man.
That is.
Sucks, dude. Yeah. employee has a history of seizures and like another few other things, and nobody there knew how to respond to that, that's a problem, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, this goes beyond freaking compliance task wearing a mask. She passed out and nobody knew what to do. What if I hadn't been there, man? Would they just like sat there and looked at her like they were doing? Come on. So, as much as I love Fraser Farms, or did, like, Sprouts is my new home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's crazy. You've had a lot of well, at least 3 standout run-ins with them.
Yeah. And each time I put them in their place.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you're going to keep throwing me fastballs, I'm going to knock them out of the park. I don't know what you want me to do, you know? She was about to faint, and I caught her on the way down. What, am I supposed to feel sorry for that? Put a mask on? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So that was my last Fraser Farm story. I don't plan on going back. At least until this is all done. I don't know, man. But that was ridiculous.
But again, why would you support those type of people and that type of environment? You know what I mean? If they're gonna do that to their own employees, like, why would you support that?
Yeah, that's where I'm landing. That's where I'm landing, man.
When there's another option like you found that is very accommodating and understanding, and yeah, it might be a little bit out of the way, might be a little bit more expensive, but hey, you pay for better quality, better service, you know, like that's America, you know. We have those choices and that option, you know.
I'm a creature of habit, and so
Same.
I know the layout of Fraser Farms.
Yeah.
And so I have to like learn Sprouts and what's where, and they don't have this product, but they have one that's similar.
Similar,
you know, so
yeah,
they
exactly.
don't have the big vegan A's, they have the small one. I'm like, okay, that. So, but yeah, that's where I've been going, and it's been cool so far. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't like...
My union was the first one to push San Diego to mandate masks.
Yeah, I was reading that. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's almost like they don't care about our health.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my tangent.
Yeah.
I wanted to get off my chest.
So have you been paying attention to this shooting information and all of that?
Yeah.
So let's get into that a little bit. I mean, I might have a little bit of a controversial take or something. I don't know. So yeah, this guy was shot in late February. And
I don't
then
know the date.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know the date.
Oh, it's 2/23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
February 23rd. That 23, I didn't know. I was looking up some brief information before this. I was like, that's interesting. The 23rd. It seems to be 23, 33, or a couple other numbers as well that are pretty.
That one specifically, so it's February 23rd, which is 223, which is 322 backwards, which is the Skull and Bones number.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Which I've seen the 223 being snuck in here and there, so that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I just looked it up because I didn't know exactly when it was either, because all of a sudden we got this video from a couple weeks ago or something that showed exactly what happened, and then that's when the whole uproar came. But I guess it had happened in February, and I guess these two guys who are now arrested, it took close to 2 months or whatever for them to find them or whatever. I don't really know all the details of that, but if there was no one else around besides the person doing the video, why would there be any leads? You know what I mean? So until that video was released, and then they were arrested in 2 days or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, it happened quick once they were able to get some sort of lead or actual evidence. But me and my brother got into this heated argument on Mother's Day. It was bad, man, because like he's just guzzles down the mainstream narrative, and I had just recently watched this other video from this like independent news journalist on YouTube, and he calls it right down the middle. He leans left, but he'll call out like the super progressive left, and he'll side with some conservatives, but call out the super right, you know? So I really like his views, and he just kind of goes through articles, reads them, and like it's very factual based. And he was pointing out and showing that this guy has been creeping around or trespassing on this house that's being constructed on. And at the time there was only one video, but now there's like 3 or 4 videos of this guy visiting this house under construction at night, 10 miles away from his house, but yet the narrative is that he was just on a jog. But there's video evidence. If he's on a jog, why is he stopping in this house on multiple occasions, scoping it out, checking? I mean, who knows what he's doing? We don't know, and we never will know. But don't tell me this guy was just on a jog when there's video evidence of that not being the case. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I went into it. I started to go into it, and then I got sidetracked because that's what I do. I didn't realize the date. The date is weird. Do you remember his first and last name? Ahmed. I want to say it was like Ahmed
Arbery. Yeah.
Or something that sounds really oddly close to armed robbery. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's what. And I guess I should preface it.
And that's interesting because the guys who ended up killing him had gotten robbed, and that neighborhood has been having burglaries, and that guy's truck like 6-7 weeks prior had gotten a gun stolen out of his truck. So this neighborhood was very on edge, and there's like the police call says that there's a guy in this house that he shouldn't be there, whatever. He's in, like, he's trespassing. Like, there's the police transcript and everything. You can hear it. And then they're like, oh, where's he at now? He's like, oh, he's running. There he goes now. He's running. And then the cops get another call. Oh, there's a black man running down the street. It's like, okay, that's fucking stupid. That should not be a reason to call the police. Like, that's crazy. But these guys got wind of it, and then they've already had run-ins, or their neighborhood has been targeted or whatever. They had a gun stolen from them, so who knows if this is the guy, if they have his gun or whatever. So who knows if he was armed. And then what we see from the video that was presented is the guy that was shot and killed running towards the truck, punching the guy, getting in a scuffle with the shotgun, it going off, and then getting shot like a couple times. But initially, he struck him, struggled with the shotgun, and then it like went off in his hand, and then like a couple other shots were fired as well. So of course it's terrible. Nobody should lose their life, but I mean, I just think it's so crazy that they're painting him as this jog, just going for a jog down the street, when that's clearly not the case.
Yeah, this is in Georgia, right?
Yeah, and they're calling it a modern day lynching and all racist and all this stuff, and it's like, I'm not buying that, man. And that's like, that might be the hot take, because like I'm not saying like that this guy should have died or his life should have been taken. Like, yeah, these guys went way too far and should not have done that, but I'm not going as far as saying, oh, these guys were hunting this guy because of race or anything like that. Like, their neighborhood has been targeted.
I think, okay, so from what I've read, so things that pop out to me. It's weird that it was filmed, right? To me, it's weird that it was filmed, and I still don't know who was filming.
Yeah, right? That too.
Actually, I read that it was like a camera from somebody's house, like a front yard garage camera or something. And in the video that I saw, it's probably the same one. I didn't see the bullet. I didn't see the actual firing and the bullet and the guy going
I
down.
didn't either. Yeah.
So
But again, I didn't really want to watch that whole video because I kind of had a feeling I knew of what was to come, and I didn't really want to see someone get killed. So I kind of stopped watching once I think the first shot went off. But I've seen stills of him running and punching the guy and stuff like that. But as far as like a bullet actually being fired, I haven't seen that as well.
Right, and so that's another question mark for me, just because like this camera that happened to be on someone's house that happened to be recording happened to get the scuffle, but not the actual end because they were like right behind the. It seems very coincidental, which to me is a flag. I think those dudes are. I think they are racist. We can even just like socioeconomically, the way they carry themselves, where they are geographically. And I did see a picture of, I believe, the dad, because it's a dad and a son.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of a dad with some other dudes, and he was carrying a flag. And to be fair, I don't know what this flag represents exactly, but it looked similar to like an iron cross within a circle, and then it had like the red, the white, and the black coloring, similar to how you see swastikas and iron cross flags and stuff like that. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find anything that said like that flag is this, you know. But it was for sure that dude, and it was for sure that flag looks sketchy. Like if I saw it, I would classify it with some of those other flags. I don't doubt that they're racist.
I mean, I can't just put that on someone just because of this happening, though, you know? And that's where I go. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But I'm not going to just call someone racist just because this happened. Yeah, it's bad. I don't agree with it. But I can't go and label, because that's like, you know, all these people, oh, you're a Nazi, you're this, that's just jumping on, piling on, and it's like, until we know for a fact, then I will be like, okay, yeah, that's not saying it's not terrible already, but that's even worse, like, that makes it even worse, and that should be murder and all of that, but for now, I don't think it's gonna be murder charge, like, involuntary manslaughter, you know, like.
So yeah, and I guess like putting the race thing aside, which like it's always fun to look at a situation of, like that seems to be racially motivated, to take the race stuff out of it and look at it objectively that way. So I heard the phone call as well. I do know the people that own that property allegedly had no idea that dude was coming and looking at it. I didn't know that he had gone times. I just thought it was like one time.
Well, yeah, that was initially the what was released, and then like a day or so after, there was more video of him on like 4 separate occasions.
I only saw him going, and he was just like standing there looking around.
Yeah,
which was super weird to me. I don't know what that's about. But then like it doesn't. Okay, race aside, and if he's casing the joint or not. Let's just go from these 2 adult males with weapons in their vehicle, see an adult male running down the road, and their climate of their community is there's been break-ins, there's been robberies, this guy had a gun stolen from him, so he's already escalated, he's already alert, and probably looking to bring someone to justice, settle the score, recoup his lost gun, hold somebody accountable. Those are probably all things on his mind. I think that's safe to say. I'm curious to know if he knew that dude was in that house and just assumed this guy's in that house, so he's the one that's been breaking into houses. Yeah. Or if he saw that guy running, and we'll probably never know the truth, or if he saw the guy running, it was just like, he's running because he's running away from a crime scene, and I'm going to go get him. And I think from everything I've heard is that they got word that this guy was in the house, and they decided to take action because of the previous information that they've had from personal being stolen, a gun being stolen from, and then also like other houses being burglarized and stuff like that. So they got word from somebody that this guy was in the house, and then they gathered up and went out to go stop him.
to do a citizen's arrest. From everything I've heard, that just went too far and escalated beyond anything that should have happened, you know, like, and that's the thing. People like my brother just calling me out, and it's like I'm doing nothing but pointing out facts, you know?
Yeah, I'd love to know who it was that tipped him off that this dude was in this house.
Yeah, it could be the same person who called the police, but I don't know who that was. Yeah.
And it doesn't really mean anything either way, but for me, like, it's like, if I hear, oh, somebody told these two guys who are already upset and possibly racist that this dude that they saw was like in a house, like, to me, the person alerting those guys is kind of like fanning the fire.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's racial or not.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know. For all I know, this was made to seem like a race thing.
Exactly.
To turn black people against white people again because we're all uniting under, we're tired of being locked up. You know?
And that's what I think. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna be the one to say that these guys are racist, because it just seems like it's too coincidental. Like, the location would fit that too perfectly, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not gonna be the one to be calling racism, because I know how that feels just for having a different political belief, you know what I mean? Oh, you're a Nazi, you're racist because you think and believe what you believe in, just because it's different than what I believe in. But we got about like 4 minutes left.
Yeah, so I still have a lot of questions about it. If I can find out exactly what that flag that the dad was holding represents,
yeah,
you know, like, that's huge, because then we could say, yeah, this fool's all racist.
Yeah.
So yeah, I read that they were trying to do a citizen's arrest, and I read that that's technically okay until, like, oh gosh, there was like it was like you can do a citizen's arrest until there's like something specific happens. There's like, you know, unless X, Y, or Z. And those two dudes had done one of those things.
Exactly.
It makes a citizen's arrest null and void, which sucks for both parties, I guess, depending on how you're looking at it. They pulled weapons on him, which, like, you don't pull a weapon on someone unless you're ready to eliminate the target. You know what I mean? So, like, as a weapons person, or like those two dudes who own weapons, they should know, like, you're not supposed to, like, if your hands on it, if you're pulling, you're ready to kill someone.
So just to play a little devil's advocate or whatever for just this last minute, so this guy is running towards you, gonna strike you. Self-defense?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't shoot somebody running at me.
Oh, no, I'm not saying like that's the best decision, smartest decision, like, what happened is terrible, but to be put in that position, you don't know what this guy has. He's running towards you. He could have your gun that he stole from you running towards you and like hit him, you know? So we got 2 minutes left.
Okay. I wanted to spend more time on this, but I think I talked too much. Yeah, and then if you flip it, race aside, if two dudes pull up in a truck while I'm fucking going for a walk or a jog, point weapons at me, I might freak out and try to grab the weapon away from them.
Yeah.
Because that's the only chance I have of surviving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I understand it from both sides, but let's both do a little more research on this topic and come back to it for sure. But yeah, let's
there seem to be coincidences, though. There seem to be
definitely
the numerology, the wordplay, and that's a red flag to me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so when do you think is good for you next?
I like the Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. I mean, as far as I know, yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays should be good. I just had something come up just this last Tuesday, but for the most part, that should work out good for me.
I like the Tuesday at 2:30. Let's plan on that one for the next one.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. You want to shout out your channel and the pods and stuff?
Oh, yeah, so just YouTube, Real Word Podcast, Drew and Chase Side by Side, and this audio will go up on No World Order IG Live Audio. So be sure to check all those out. Also, Tuesday Morning Tokes, I got that going as well. And yeah, that is about it. And I'm sure we will text over the next few days, but let's plan on for next Tuesday.
Be free.
All right, later. Peace.